All right, let's get this party started. Let's get this thing started right. All right, what's going on, man? I'm live. I'm here. Tariq, right here on Tariq Radio, Sunday edition. Doing it like we always do. You feel me? And we are ready to chop it up. How you guys doing? It's a lovely day out here in Los Angeles today. Hold on 1 second. Shout out, somebody just gave $50 already. Shout out to that person. Excuse me. Let me let everybody know on the gram that we're live right now. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. And while I'm doing that, damn, get my throat together. Understand that we have the Macish package 2 days only. The sale is going to be on until this Tuesday. So 2 days only. Hey, what's up? We're live right now on YouTube. So swipe up and join me live right now. All right. Just letting everybody know on the gram that I'm here for your service. All right. But yeah, the Macish package sale is going to be available from now until Tuesday at TariqElite.com. That's where you can get it. You can get it at TariqElite.com, ladies and gentlemen. Get that good sale. On that sale, for that sale, let me read off some of the things that we have for the new Macish package sale. Let me read some of the things off. We got some great items because I have to show appreciation. I've been out this weekend. Normally I don't go out a lot. But I went out this weekend to a lot of different things. We got some and I just ran into so many people who were showing so much love. I said, you know what? Let me do something for the family. Let me show people that reciprocal love back. So I wanted to do a Macish package that had a lot of good stuff in it. And this one, we have the 1804 t-shirts. We have the Hidden Colors 4 t-shirts, which is what I'm wearing now. We have the Malema t-shirts. We have the Tariq Nasheed Live in Miami lecture DVD. That's a classic one. We have the Eugenics movie, a movie that I did. We got that DVD. That's a horror movie. We got my man Scotty Vasco's book that we are promoting very heavily, Avoid the Machines. That book is going to be in there. We got the Ism Angels book in there, the lookbook with my lovely co-host Bree and Layla. We have the 1804 movie poster. So you have a big-ass poster. We have the international sunglasses, the Tariq Elite sunglasses. We have the children's sizes of the Flex Step boots, the small sizes left. We have the Ogun t-shirts. We also have the Egyptian Musk album. We got all that stuff for just $99. Basically, y'all getting hundreds of dollars worth of stuff, really for shipping costs, basically. Then they're just giving it away for free. You're just paying for the shipping. And that's just an appreciation thing. And people are like, oh, we got to extend it. No, we can't extend nothing like that. We just can't get it shit away every day. So that's only going to be for a couple of days. That's why, basically we're giving away a lot of stuff for the family. And this stuff is worth hundreds of dollars. But it's a great sale. And we're not going to do one in a long time. So that's going to be the only Macish package sale I know for this year. Might be for the next couple of years. What's up? Shout out to POB, Larry Z. Yeah, it's pretty much giving the shit away for free just out of appreciation. But, we're not going to have a Macish package sale after Tuesday for a long time. Because, people always ask about them, but we're so busy at the office, we just don't have time to do them. But I told people that I would probably do one for Black History Month. And I wanted to get it popping, also before Black History Month was over. So, it's this year only. Yeah, it's only February. But yeah, what's up, Charm? Shout out to Natural Charm. Y'all know Natural Charm is going to be in Hidden Colors 5, by the way. She's in there spitting some hot fire. We got some good scenes with Charm in there. She's in Hidden Colors 5 as well as other people. Hidden Colors 5, we're working on that very diligently. It's going to be real fly. But again, y'all click the link if you're looking at me live. You can go below, click the link, Tariq Elite, and you can get the Macish package deal right now, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me let everybody on Twitter know that we're live and doing our thizzle right now, and then after that we can really get into some of the stuff we need to talk about. How many of you are watching the Oscars right now? The Oscars is on right now. Hold on. So I see Bohemian Rhapsody trending. So I wonder if that won the Best Picture. Let me see what they're talking about. A lot of this stuff is going on in real time. It won Best Editing. Best Sound. Okay, so the Oscars are still going on right now from what I understand. And Bohemian Rhapsody, that was initially directed by a suspected accused pedophile sexual assaulter, Bryan Singer, allegedly. You know, there's a lot of controversy around him. He's been accused of several sex crimes. So they tried to disassociate him from the movie. You did? Man. So that's interesting. Again, and a lot of this stuff is going on in real time right now. All right. Shout out to Toronto. One thing about the Oscars, I want y'all to notice something. If you look at the Oscars, I've been looking at the trending, some of the things that's been trending about the Oscars. The Oscars, there's a reason why the Oscars is basically like the Lady of Soul Awards right now. There's a reason why the Oscars is basically like the Lady of Soul Awards. There's a lot of sisters they paraded around who won things. And there's a reason for that. Not to say that the women are not talented. Let's be very clear. The women are very talented. But what I'm noticing is like an overkill. It's like them going out of their way to show like almost a gender divide to a certain degree. And let me break that down why. Regina King won. A couple of women who were costume designers for Black Panther, they won. You dig? So did Spike Lee win? Spike just won. That's what's up. Finally. Oh yeah, like I said, they're really blacking. They had to blacken this up. And also, you know what? The CIA was tweeting about the Oscars and Wakanda and all that. So, you know, this was a whole thing that they were tweeting about. Let me look at this. Hold on. I'm looking at some of the trends now. I'm trying to catch up on all this stuff right now. Somebody said Spike Lee just won. Hold on. For Black Klansman. Okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. Spike Lee got his first Oscar for Black Klansman. All right. Yeah, let me show y'all something. Hold on. Yeah, the CIA was tweeting about the Oscars. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Yeah, man, this is real heavy. See, this stuff doesn't just happen in a vacuum. You know, they're all into this type of stuff, and it's all about propaganda as well. Hold on, there we go. Okay, yeah, look at this. All right, that's the CIA's Twitter right here. Let me show y'all. This is CIA's official Twitter. And look, they're tweeting about Black Panther, the Academy Awards. They're talking about looks like Wakanda Tech with the most votes, virtual. I mean, they're tweeting random stuff about Wakanda and the Black Panther. This is the CIA, all right? So you can go to the CIA website right now. They're tweeting this stuff. Yeah? So I haven't heard Spike Lee's speech. Yeah. Understand, Hollywood and the Democrats, they're all clicked in with each other. You say, what's up, Andre? You say, I'm looking fresh and handsome. I'm trying, sweetie. I damn sure try. Thank you, dear. But understand this. Listen to me. See, we got to not, this is a chess move. Let's not fall for the okie doke. Now, let me say this. I'm very proud of Spike. You know, he deserved, he should have won an Oscar a long time ago. Very proud of Spike. As a matter of fact, I was one of the producers on one of Spike's movies, on The Sweet Blood of Jesus. Go look at the IMDb on that one. I'm one of the associate producers on that. Go look that up. On The Sweet Blood of Jesus, that movie Spike did. Look it up. I'm attached. My name is on there. I put money on there. But understand this. The Democrats in Hollywood, all of them are all clicked in with each other. All of them are clicked in. And understand this. Black people have been on code. Because black people have been on code, they can't run these little scams on us when it comes to voting for nothing. Black people are letting them know that we're not just going to vote for the hell of it. We're not going to sacrifice ourselves to vote for people, and we're not going to get anything out of it. This leaves them in a very precarious position, because if black people are not going to vote if the Democrats don't do anything for us, and they keep, letting us know they're not going to do anything for us, even though we keep demanding and they keep trying to run game on us and we keep sticking to our guns, they will not commit. They keep sticking to their guns. And we're sticking to our guns. We're like, we want tangibles. It's going to be tangibles 2020 or nothing. We don't want to hear no trickle down. We don't want to hear anything. So that's a very dangerous situation, because now they're scrambling. Because, we're not going to vote for the right-wingers if they're not going to bring anything to the table. So we'll just wait it out. They think that we're bluffing. And some of the con games that they've used, they can't work anymore. And understand, as Neely Fuller said, the white supremacists, their main tactic to control black people is deception. Once deception doesn't work, then they turn to violence. And notice how violent the language is towards black people now, coming from the white supremacists and their boule flunkies. Look how violent the language and how aggressive and how disrespectful the language is to us. Y'all stop being stupid. That ADOS is dumb. Y'all stop all that stupid stuff. Shut the F up. That's what white governors and mayors told me. Shut the F up. You see how violent the language is? Because now we're not falling for their deception. And we're not backing down off of them. And they're talking this garbage about us. We're a bunch of bots. We're a bunch of Russian trolls. They don't know what to do now. So they're getting desperate. So this leaves them in a very peculiar position, because they're going to have to come up with tangibles. They can't do the benign neglect no more. If they do the benign neglect thing, they know we're just not going to support them. That's why none of these Democratic politicians are getting any momentum. They're not getting any momentum whatsoever. This disrespectful jive-ass routine they're running with Kamala Harris, we rejected that wholesale. I'm going to get on the boule and the link in a minute. It's going to be a nice long night tonight. So don't worry about that. I got them. We're going to talk about them tonight. But the thing is, the Democrats and the white supremacists who run them, they're stuck right now. right here, all of their exits are pretty covered. They cannot use the scapegoat of let's all be on some kumbaya with all of these other races when we have white Hispanics assaulting us, when we got Zimmermans running around out here, when we have Officer Yanez's out here, we have the Peter Liang's out here, we have all of these Asian store owners beating up sisters in beauty supply stores and nail shops. So we ain't doing that. We all in this big old melting pot family garbage no more. We just saying we ain't doing that no more. So when they sit up and talk about all the people at the border are just being mistreated, we're like, okay, hold your own nuts. Hold your own nuts. We ain't running to the rescue now. They can't use the, oh, we all, people who are marginalized like the black and LGBT. We ain't going for that either. Y'all got a problem called Ed Buck. Y'all have an Ed Buck problem where Ed Buck has had 2 dead black bodies pulled out of his house and the white gay community ain't really saying nothing about it. So we see where you stand. Your team white supremacy. Hold your own nuts. Don't come to us with that. So now they're looking at black folks like, okay, damn, this is a problem. We can't run this game on them. We don't want to give them no tangibles because we like them on the bottom. That's what diversity means. Diversity means black folks on the bottom. That's all diversity means. Long as black people are willing to be on the bottom, that's diversity to them. Diversity is vertical, meaning everybody on top of us. And the fact that we're not letting people get on top of us right now, at this moment, that's messing up the racial hierarchy. See, this is a problem. You got to understand black people. All these people eat off us. All their movements are built on top of us. All of them. That's why they got to push us in the front of all their parades. That's why they got to push us in front of all their movements because they have to attach themselves with us. When we say we ain't rocking with you, that delegitimizes all of their movements. It delegitimizes immigration because you can't tack yourself onto us. It delegitimizes the LGBT stuff because white LGBT people, they've not been marginalized as a group. As white people, they still enjoy the privileges of white supremacy. So they always have to parade us around. You dig? So they're like, even affirmative action. If black people all together openly denounced affirmative action, it would crumble because no other group deserves affirmative action. So right now, when they see black folks standing their ground, they look at it as, okay, look, this is a problem because if a group of people who are so marginalized, they drop out of the democratic process, meaning, okay, if you're not going to give us nothing, there's no reason for us to vote. If you're not going to do something for us, we're going to be like the Asians. There ain't no reason for us to vote. Asians don't really vote. They don't browbeat and shame Asians for not voting because Asians get into the economy game. Asians are about accumulating resources, land, real estate, all this stuff. So with us dropping out of the democratic process, that's in their minds, that's planting the seeds of real rebellion. You understand? When a group feels so marginalized, they drop out of the democratic process with the other groups. This group is going to really start empowering themselves. And they feel like that's going to be very detrimental. When a marginalized group drops out of the democratic process, drops out of the system, they're like, uh-oh. Yeah, we're the tipping point. They're like, okay, if this group is going to do that, they can start to empower themselves and they have the mindset and the resources to do it. You understand? So all these immigrant groups and all these people are that's why they keep taking shots at black people who are claiming ADOS because we are descendants of slaves. This is why they keep trying to take shots at it. So now, when you have a group like this, people are like, the democratic process is just not going to work for us. The white supremacists have to find a way to make black people feel included in the system. You dig? Because when we start looking inward at other black folks, they've always been afraid of that. Because let me tell you something. Black Americans, for the last 500 years, we are the only people who can make shit pop off from scratch. We are the only people. I'm talking in the last 500 years. Now, other people, they've done their thing, but let's just be real. ADOS, foundational black Americans, we can get it popping off from scratch, from nothing. Now, let me add on to that. Certain people in some Caribbean countries, I'll give Haiti their props. In the 1800s, after they got the French and the Spanish and the British off them, they started to get it popping, but then you had the light-skinned mulatto coons undermine them. They undermined them. So they were about to get it popping, but they got it they were undermined by that mulatto class who still had an affinity for the French and their family members. And many of those Negroes went to New Orleans, and then they start birthing the Roland Martins of the world, because that's where his family is from. And the Angela Ryes and the Boule, a lot of them Boule Negroes come out of that New Orleans Haitian Creole blood mulatto, not them hardcore Dessalines Haitians. Yeah, they getting it popping in Haiti right now. They're getting it popping in Haiti right now. And I broke that down about how a lot of those mulatto Haitians, they left and followed their slave masters to New Orleans. And then they became part of that whole Blue Vein Society, which morphed into the Boule. And I'm going to get on them later. Don't trip. Mark Morial, I'm going to get on that Negro too. I'll get on him in a minute. So now they have to get us back into the process. They got to get us back into the system. They got to make black people feel somehow included. Now, what happened in the 60s when you had all the riots and black folks was getting it in? Because we're like, look, we ain't part of the system, so fuck it. Let's get it popping. So after the 60s, what did they do? Going into the 70s, they pacified black people through blaxploitation movies. What's up, Tasha? You're from New Orleans. I'm not saying everybody from New Orleans is a coon. I'm just saying a lot of that Boule, a lot of immigrants who came from coon families ended up out there. And that's not to say everybody, but because you had some rioters go out there too. You had some serious riots out there in New Orleans too. But like I'm saying, in the 70s, what they did, they used movies to pacify a lot of black people in the 70s. You understand? They used movies and entertainment. So what they started to do, they put out a lot of those blaxploitation movies. They put out a lot of blaxploitation movies. And in those movies, they had a lot of things that black people secretly desired. They had all Cadillacs, all those movies, Cadillacs. The players had a bunch of women, white women. All those movies had Cadillacs, drugs, and white women. Yeah, and all those movies in the early 70s, it was Cadillacs, drugs, and white women. You dig? And they were over the top with it. They were like, give them what they want. And that pacified black folks because it gave the illusion of inclusion. So now, 10 years ago, there wouldn't be movies like this. So now there's movies with black people having sex with white people, black people beating up white people, black people selling drugs, sniffing drugs, beating the man, getting over on the man. So black folks like, yeah, we've arrived symbolically. It was a symbolic rise. Black folks in these movies, they made sure they had all these fly clothes and these over-the-top clothes. So, and also they had the Asian movies, and we gravitated towards that, like the whole melting pot thing they were selling to us. And then in the 70s, we started welcoming all of those Asians into the black community. All those Asians came into the black community in the 70s. Before then, you didn't have all that. All those Asians going into black neighborhoods, setting up shop, that started in the 70s. And we welcomed them in because we saw all these movies with these Asian folks and they were marginalized, because the theme of all those karate movies was a marginalized Asian person who was struggling, who was poor, and they had to fight their way. So we related to that. We're like, oh shit, I want to learn some Kung Fu too. So again, there was a lot of illusionary progress that was made. Got it? So now let's look at tonight. Look at tonight on the Oscars. We see in this country, black folks are not going for the okie doke. Black people are not going for the con games. Black people, we're willing to sit this election out. If we don't get tangibles, we dead ass serious. So now what they do, they give us some symbolic victories now. So you look at the Oscars, and this is another thing. What they want to do now, they see that black men and women are on the same page, which is what they really don't like. They see black men and women on the same page. So now, lately, if you notice, they've been trying to do this whole gender divide with black men and women by trying to fake prop up sisters, praising sisters for like a lot of little stuff and kind of propping sisters up as a way of kind of etching them away from us. You understand? So when they attack somebody like R. Kelly, this is why they got to go after R. Kelly over and over and over and over again. And accuse all these other different black men of all of these things so they can say, look, black women, me too, and black women are doing so many great things. So black women, and a lot of sisters ain't even falling for that stuff. All of that is really about 10 people. Shea Butter Twitter is the same people who work for the Root and the Boule and all these folks. It's the same 10 Shea Butter bedwenches with multiple fake accounts. Those are the real Russian accounts. Shea Butter Twitter is a handful of people with a bunch of fake accounts. So they do not represent black women whatsoever. I'll get on R. Kelly in a minute too. So now, again, they're trying to use that divide and conquer thing. They're trying to prop up sisters to etch them away from us. And tonight on the Oscars, they were giving a lot of these different women, these sisters, different awards, like the costume design, this, and wardrobe that, and this, that. A lot of them were getting propped up. And I'm glad they gave Spike his award, and that's another thing. People can look at that, and also the world can look at it and see, because Spike Lee is he's well known around the world. I went to France, and they were jocking Spike Lee for some reason. They kept asking me if I knew Spike Lee. They're like, you're from America. Do you know Spike Lee? I don't know what goddamn Spike Lee. That's another thing with white people. White people all over the world, even here for the most part. Have y'all seen white people who think you know some random black person? White people are very funny style with that whole thing where we all supposed to know each other. I've been at meetings at production studios, and some hip white guy who thinks he's hipper than what he really is, and just asked me about some random black person. Hey, yeah, man, when I went to Virginia, I went to college out there, man. I knew a guy named Darnell Carter. Did you know him? Who? Yeah, Darnell Carter, a tall guy with dreads. You know him? Darnell Carter? No. I ain't never heard no damn Darnell Carter. I never lived in Virginia. Why would I know him? Oh, I just kind of thought you might have knew him. Really? Really? Yeah, we asked you, did you know Frederick Douglass? I heard you were a descendant from Frederick. I heard you were one of his descendants. Just asking. I saw Cicely Tyson. Did you know Cicely Tyson? I just thought you'd probably know her. My God, man, come on. And they swear we all know each other. Yeah. Now, who the hell is that? Man. Oh yeah. Speaking of suspected white supremacy, Joe Rogan, a lot of people suspect that he has alt-right connections because some of the stuff he says is real slick. But isn't Joe Rogan's stepdaughter black? From what I've seen, I think she is. And that's probably one of the reasons why. But for those who don't know, Joe Rogan, is the comedian. He hosts the podcast, and he has a lot of alt-right people on his show. He has a lot of alt-right people on his show, and he says a lot of slick stuff. He called black folks apes. And the thing is, his stepdaughter's black. So I'm like, is this damn stepdaughter an ape too? Yeah, his stepdaughter's black. From what I understand. Based on some of the stuff that I've seen, his stepdaughter, his wife, had a kid before, and his stepdaughter was black, and her dad is Dino from H-Town, the group R&B group H-Town. Rest in peace. Dino died, and H-Town was one of my favorite groups. I loved H-Town. Still do. I bump H-Town to this day. I love H-Town. H-Town was a very underrated group. Dino, that was that dude. Dino was very underrated, man. And just that group was very underrated. So, yeah, that's very interesting that this dude would say that. And that probably that messes with him, knowing that his white wife was getting dug out by Dino. And the daughter's cute. She's like 20-something now. Beautiful girl. Beautiful sister. But yeah. No, I have not been watching Alex Jones. A few people emailed me and told me this. I have not been watching Alex Jones. I have not. But some people emailed me and told me this. You did? So I have not been. But yeah, that's probably one of the things that messes with Joe Rogan. You dig? And that's why he says all that slick stuff all the time. He's always saying little slick stuff about black folks. You dig? Man. And in the white dudes, a lot of them they feel a certain way about their women having sex with black guys. That really psychologically messes with them. And when Joe is driving around and this motherfucker here knocking the boots, he probably started whooping her ass. Yeah, so he starts talking that white genocide stuff. You dig? Let me put some music on, some mellow music on. Oh man, let me play for Joe. Man, pull up. Emotion make you sad sometimes, baby. Emotion make you cry. It's for Joe Rogan. Emotion make you sad sometimes. Emotion make you cry sometimes. Emotion make you sad sometimes. But most of all, it makes you fall in love. Oh. All right. Shout out to Joe. Let Joe bump that with his wife. Man, but boy, am I going to be that low-key racist? God damn, man. This dude. Man. Anyway, man, but like I'm saying, but like I was saying, as far as the Oscars tonight, again, they were doing it turned into the Lady of Soul Award. It was a lot of black girl magic in there, and they gave Spike his award finally. So now, this gives the illusion that, hey, we matter, we count, we're included. And another thing, let me show y'all what they were doing. Another thing I don't want y'all to miss. Another thing I don't want y'all to miss that they were doing. Hold on, let me show y'all this. All right. Hold on, let me show y'all this. They had a couple of brothers out in the damn dresses. They had a couple of brothers out there in the dresses. All right. All right. Okay. So they had this going on. They had this going on right here. So this brother, they showing him all over the place. This guy, he's an actor. I don't know what show he's in. But they were parading this brother around. This brother had on like this dress thing. And they're just giving him so many praises and accolades because of this dress he had on. Oh, he's fierce. Oh, he slayed the red carpet. Oh, they were just really propping this guy up. And shout out, that's our brother. This is Billy Porter, right? His name is Billy Porter. And shout out to him. Nobody's shitting on this brother. That's our brother. Ain't nobody hating on him. I'm just talking about the overall agenda. Props to whoever this brother is. He's our brother. So I'm not, this ain't a shot against him. This is just about the reaction. And also the brother from the show Atlanta, he was on there. They had him in like a damn dress. The brother from the Atlanta show. They had him in a damn dress too. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, man. So he's in a dress. And let me take this down. So you see what the agenda was all over the place. You see the agenda was all over the place. They were doing the black girl magic thing, and then they had the brothers running around in the dresses. So they were doing the whole agenda thing real heavy. Paperboy, yeah. Now he plays a gangster on the show, and they got this man out here wearing a dress. There's always this big thing about putting a masculine black man in a damn dress. There's always this big thing about that. And again, I asked on Twitter, I said, look, what's the obsession with white America putting these brothers in dresses? Why do y'all get so excited for that? I asked that question on Twitter. I didn't really get no answer. But they got this thing about putting black men in dresses where they love that. They love putting brothers in dresses. And Dr. Welsing broke that down. It's a buck-breaking thing. That's why Terry Crews is always running around in these dresses and wigs and hoe boots and all this old stuff. Again, because what they have to do, they have to make us appear to be included. But if we're to be included, you have to be neutered, especially as a man. We have to be neutered in order to be included. And we got to stop falling for that con game. They had, let me play something from Van Jones. Now, Van Jones was on The Breakfast Club. Let me get that clip real quick. Let me see, where did I put it? Hold on 1 second. Let me find that Van Jones clip. Just a lot of stuff we're going to cover tonight, fam. There we go. Here we go. Let me get that up here. Because they use that gender thing to make us not only divided, they say to us basically, if you want to be included in our circles where we won't harm you, we're going to have to neuter you and then we'll accept you. We're going to have to fix you first because you Negroes are wild. You Negroes are wild on your own. When you think for yourself and you're a feminine woman and a masculine man, you're a wild, dangerous Negro. So we're going to have to fix you before we bring you around. You dig? You do that to pets. That's what you do to pets. And now Van Jones was on the Breakfast Club. And one thing Van Jones was saying, he was Sambo babbling. That's the new term that I use. Hashtag Sambo babble. You got a lot of these Negroes who work for the white Democrats who are pushed out there to basically nigger-splain and Sambo babble in circles as if they're saying something deep, but the name of the game is to just babble in circles and throw out as many smoke screens as possible so that you can confuse black folks. The thing is, we ain't confused. We're not confused. Sambo babble. It's just like coon-splaining and nigger-splaining, but it's worse. It's Sambo babble. It's a little different from coon-splaining and nigger-splaining. Nigger-splaining is when you do something jacked up and you're trying to explain your way out of it. Sambo babble is when you are bringing in an agenda and you're trying to manipulate people to see a false perspective that's not there. So when we ask for tangibles and all of a sudden some Sambo comes out here talking about, well, I got some tangibles. What we're going to do, we're going to have a lift program where we're going to give people who make less than $100,000 a year, we're going to give them tax breaks and tax incentives, and then that's going to elevate you, and that will include black people too. So that's reparations, right? That's Sambo babble. When they start talking like that, that's Sambo babble. And it's offensive, and you should be offended by it. You see? They'll start off talking about what they're going to do for black folks and then slip in, well, what we going to do? Well, what we going to do, because I do have a black agenda. Well, the black agenda, what we're going to do, we're going to partner up with UNICEF, and then we're going to use some of that money, and then we're going to put it in real estate, and then we're going to get with some of the Native Americans, and then we're going to share that with them, and then lift everybody up because they're marginalized people too, and then that's going to trickle down to the black community because they are disproportionately more affected by some of the house. Sambo babble. That's Sambo babble. The minute they start, you got to watch the key words because they'll talk. They talk in circles. They keep talking because they know people understand when they talk a lot, you zone in and zone out. So you stop paying attention to certain words, but they'll talk, slip in something slick, and then just kind of talk fast over it like you didn't catch it. You dig? That's Sambo babble. And a lot of times they just slip in lies. Roland is very good at that. He's the king of Sambo babble. Like Roland, what about a black agenda? What happened? Remember, he always acting like he didn't talked about a black agenda before, which he didn't. Roland is good at lying. Remember when I was with Hillary, and remember I was there talking about a black agenda 5 years ago. Remember when I was there 5 years ago, we had a luncheon. We were at Applebee's. I had some nachos and some buffalo wings. And then when Hillary Clinton was there, I got some butter biscuits. And then we talked about what we're going to do for the criminal justice program. And then I told them I'm going to take that to the black community and let them know that is the black agenda. That's Sambo babble. That's Sambo babble. You can, when Roland starts throwing in all these old unnecessary details, that's a key sign of Sambo babble. You know, when Roland, you know the Sambo babble is coming when just unnecessary garbage is in there. Remember, I was with Michelle Obama 5 years ago. We were driving past the White House. We went down to the Waffle House. I had some grits, some steak and eggs, and then we were talking about what we're going to do to get something for the school choice program, and that's going to trickle down to the disenfranchised poor communities. So right there, I let them know that will be part of the black agenda. So what I went to do, I went to the restroom, I got on my cell phone, I called somebody, but my battery died, so I had to wait till I got back to the hotel room, and then Sambo babble. Ain't that just how he be talking? You ask this fool a simple question. What's the black agenda? See, I asked that 5 years ago. First of all, y'all stupid. Y'all stupid as hell. And anyway, if y'all weren't so stupid, you would know 5 years ago. I was with Bill Clinton. We went bowling. Shut up, nigga. You Sambo babbling. Who's this texting me? So, oh, Roland be killing me with the cuss. You can tell him that. The Boule, understand that Boule crowd, they get their money by controlling us. When they cannot control us, they get pissed. When they cannot control us, man, they get pissed off. And Roland, you can tell some of his Boule paymasters done had a talking to him. He gets up, this is Roland, and look, I'm tired of this bullshit that I'm going to have to address some of these niggas. This bullshit is crazy. But anyway, like I was talking earlier, talking about how, now Van was on the Breakfast Club, and he started talking, he said something just extremely deceptive. He was like, Black Lives Matter, they made the Democratic Party better. The Black Lives Matter came and they showed us, they showed the Democratic Party what was happening out here. The Black Lives Matter showed us what was going on. I'm like, dude, no they didn't. No, they didn't, Van. Did y'all see the Breakfast Club interview when he said that? He was talking about how Black Lives Matter was showing the Democrats what was really going on and all that. Dude, the Black Lives Matter movement is an offshoot of the Democrats. Do you understand that? Black Lives Matter has never been a grassroots movement. Black Lives Matter has not been it's not a grassroots movement. It's never been a grassroots movement. Let's just be very clear. So we got to cut the deception off. And I got the Black Lives Matter website up right now. Black Lives Matter has never been grassroots. It's always been funded by the white Democrats funded that from top to bottom. Black Lives Matter is a damn joke. That's why they brought out the people who they wanted to be the leaders. Black Lives Matter is an immigration gay agenda movement that's piggybacking off black struggle. Point blank. It was never a grassroots movement. It was never a grassroots movement. Now, even look at the site right now, Black Lives Matter site. They'll put a bunch of black folks marching. Then they're talking about, we support 21 Savage. Hold on, let me rewind this. We support 21 Savage and his immigration thing. And I told y'all they were going to latch on to 21 Savage and that immigration thing. And let me tell y'all something. White Democrats and black people, we're not rocking with immigration. That ain't happening. And y'all not going to use 21 Savage as a Trojan horse. We're not rocking with that. We're not rocking with that. That almost, to be honest, it almost makes me look at the 21 Savage thing where he got arrested. Was that orchestrated? You know? Was that orchestrated for this man to get arrested? And they said he got arrested by ICE, but understand this. Just because the ICE thing is supposed to be a right-wing thing, all of them work together. All of these groups work together. You dig? So they're talking about how we're standing with 21 Savage. Also, I want y'all to look at something on their site. Somebody pointed this out to me on their shop section on the Black Lives Matter site. They got some t-shirts up and it's talking about Black future is queer. They got different things. Black future is liberated. Black future is youth. But the first thing they have is Black future is queer. What you mean by that? This is white supremacy. Do you understand me? That's a white supremacist agenda. That's a white supremacist agenda from top to bottom. They've always been funded and controlled by the white supremacists. They've always been there to undermine Black society. This is why they always push a gay agenda onto Black people, trying to shame us. The Black agenda is really to shame us for not being gay. If a Black person is not gay, you're shamed. It ain't about accepting the gay lifestyle, because Black people, we've always accepted people in the gay community. Their thing is, how come you ain't gay too? Their thing is, if you don't want to have sex with a man, well, there's something wrong with you. That's homophobic. That's what they mean. If you don't want to have sex with a dude, well, damn it, that's discrimination. The Black future is queer. The hell are you talking about? You think that's a grassroots thing? And understand, a couple of the founders, meaning the hand-picked Negroes that they prop up as the founders of Black Lives Matter, which is founded by white money. They're immigrants, first, second generation immigrants. It's an immigration movement. Again, these people have been covertly trying to undermine and replace ADOS. That's why so many people have a problem with ADOS. That's why so many people have a problem when we talk about foundational Black Americans circling our wagons and doing for ourselves. You dig? That's how you destroy. Yeah, they're talking about destroying Black families. When you say the future is queer, you're talking about destroying the Black family structure as we know it. We in here deep. We got 6,000 in here deep. You dig? And another thing, let me get this one thing too. Hold on, there's something else I want to show y'all before. There's a lot of stuff going on tonight. And I'm going to get on Van Jones in a minute. I'm going to get on Van Jones in 1 minute. Hold on. Speaking of the Oscars. Let me show y'all what the white LGBT community co-signed, because I've been on them heavy, the white LGBT community. I've been on them very heavy. So the white LGBT community, there was a statue outside the Oscars, not too far from where the Oscars venue was. There was a statue that this white street artist, who was most likely commissioned to do this by the white LGBT community, he made a statue of Kevin Hart holding a rainbow flag. And then, hold on, where is it? Here it is. All right. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, what the hell site is this? Okay, this is the flag right here. All right. So there's a racist looking ass flag. This looks racist as hell to me. So this is Kevin Hart. They made a statue of him holding an LBGT flag. It looks like one of those lawn jockeys that white supremacists put on their front lawn. And he's holding an LGBT flag. And that's some low-key racist garbage right there. This making statues of Negroes. Yeah. So the LGBT community co-signed this, and they said on the bottom, hollow apology. You know, they ain't make no statues about Sarah Silverman and Joe Rogan and all these other white people who made homophobic jokes or gay jokes. They didn't Ain't no statues about them. The fact that you skipped over all those white comedians and then made a statue about Kevin, that's just the white LBG community just being racist as they always are. Many of them have racist tendencies. That's the bottom line of it. You know? Yeah, they love doing that stuff, putting up statues of Negroes. That's kind of their thing. That's racist as hell. And this is another reason why the black community, we ain't latching on to a lot of the white LGB community trying to get us to cape for them. We ain't going for y'all because y'all keep doing stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why we further will stop messing with you. Because all you do is practice the same white supremacy against us as the white straight community. Y'all doing these little Sambo statues of black folks and you co-signing it. So we're cool on you. So Van Jones, let me play Van Jones. He was on the Breakfast Club. And let me play some of his Sambo babble that he was getting into. Hold on one second. Where is this? All right. Okay, so this is Van Jones on the Breakfast Club. And I want y'all to listen to some of the Sambo babble he was getting into on the Breakfast Club. Hold on. Let me play it. All right. Let me push this to make it bigger. All right.
Go to rehab. Poor kids get on drugs, they go to prison. I've seen that my whole life. Take our responsibility now. It will be the African-American community that picks the next Democratic president candidate, and it will be our sacrifice to get Trump out of office. And so we have to now grow up.
Hold on right there. Let me play that part right there. That's the part right. You got to watch these words. And again, he was on there for like an hour. Oh, it was just Sambo babble nonstop. But let me play it.
That picks the next Democratic president candidate, and it will be our sacrifice to get Trump out of office. And so we have to now grow up into a different level of responsibility. If democracy is going to be saved, it's going to be saved by black people. If the economy is going to work for anybody, it's going to be because we insisted. Mm-hmm. And so that puts us in a very different situation than we've ever really been in before because, you know.
All right. Van was on there buck dancing it up for the Democrats. Man, we ain't sacrificing a damn thing. I told y'all their whole thing is black people have to be the damn sacrificial slaves. Sacrifice means y'all need black people. You got to take the moral high road to get Trump out of office because he's the real racist. We're not going to give you nothing, but we just can't have a racist in the White House. They're running that. We just got to fight the racists and stop the racist Trump boogeyman. We're not going to give you anything, so you're going to sacrifice yourselves, black people. You need to sacrifice yourself for democracy in this country. Nigga, if you don't kiss all of our asses, those days are over. We ain't sacrificing nothing. We've sacrificed enough. Ain't no more sacrificing. You ain't slick, dude. We ain't sacrificing no more, bruh. Sacrifice our well-being so that you connected Negroes can get your butter biscuits. The immigrants can come in and eat off our tax dollars. The LGBT community and the Native American community, they get all types of kickbacks and benefits, and all these other groups get something over us, and we supposed to be here holding the bag and nobody gives us anything while we get our brains beat out legally by the system. No. Ain't no more sacrificing. We've sacrificed enough. Van, Democratic Party, we have no problem with a racist being in the White House because all we're going to do is put another one in there in blackface. I would rather have one with the mask off. I don't want a blackface racist. I'm good on that. We're not sacrificing no more, bruh. We're the only people they bring that garbage to. Talking about, well, y'all need to sacrifice Martin Luther King. I spilled blood in Selma. All this old symbolic garbage. We're not sacrificing no more. We done sacrificed enough. Sacrifice time is over. It's time for y'all to sacrifice. If y'all ain't bringing no tangibles, deuces. We out. We don't have it in us no more to sacrifice. It's all about empowerment. And we're circling our wagons for our group. And I don't want to hear all these people cry foul. There's a lot of people out here crying foul right now because of Black Americans, foundational Black Americans saying, hey, look, we're going to empower ourselves. We're going to look out for the best interests of our group. Because all these other groups, year after year after year after decade, y'all have not helped us at all. In the last 50 years, you haven't helped us, and really before then. That's why anytime you ask somebody, how has immigration helped Black Americans? What they do, they act like they didn't understand the question and then start talking about Marcus Garvey. And what they start doing is naming the same 5 Black folks. It's Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X Mama, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, and Shirley Chisholm. They immigrants. Number one, these were people who came over before 50 years ago where at that time, you had to live in Black neighborhoods. Number two, they came up by coming over here. It's not the other damn way around. They came over here and came up off us, to be honest, if we're going to be on that level, because they couldn't get it popping in their home country. Also, these were just individuals. We're talking about what has groups of people done. We're talking about people as a group. You come over here talking about what Shirley Chisholm, that's a symbolic thing. I mean, she spoke up for certain issues, but as far as getting stuff moved and getting things popping off, like we as a group has done for immigrants, we've gotten them tangibles. They didn't do anything like that. I mean, they talk good. Somebody said DJ Kool Herc, and I love DJ Kool Herc, but that's another thing. Well, Kool Herc came over in 67, 68, so that was still before the 50-year mark. And also, when Kool Herc came over, Kool Herc basically got what was already going on over here and then just codified it. But what Kool Herc did was get what was already popping, put it all together, and then put it on a big sound system. If we want to look at it, and that's no disrespect to Herc. But understand, what he got, Herc brought over that sound system, and he started using them breaks from James Brown. He was getting breaks from Black artists. Also, he was getting MCs to get on the mic and do what they were already doing. There was already rapping in the 60s. I pointed out records. You had Pigmeat Markham, had a song called Here Comes the Judge, where he was rapping on that song. The song is from 1967. There's another song called, it was a DJ out of Philly, Butterball, where he was rapping over a beat, doing rhymes over a beat. You dig? That was in 1967. So you had players and dudes out here who knew how to toast and rhyme. People like H. Rap Brown. That's how he got the name rap. And that's where the term rap comes from, really came from H. Rap Brown. And they were not, I won't say, but people would use the term rap a lot. They would use the term rap, like, let me talk to this person. So, yeah, we have the last poets, all this, but people were rapping already, dude. People were rapping already. Then you had Blowfly in the 70s, but I'm talking about in the 60s. Cass was rapping already. Yeah, y'all look up, Here Comes the Judge. Then you had Dolomite, that toasting that Dolomite was doing. That was the thing in the 60s, putting it on record. You know? But Pigmeat Markham song, that song, the dude is rapping. He's doing a 4-bar cadence over a beat. He's rapping. And again, no disrespect to Kool Herc, because Kool Herc, he brought everything together. They put a name on it. He brought everything together. He brought all of those things together and then made it a whole cultural thing. Yeah? But no, Herc didn't create scratching. No, he didn't. Herc didn't create scratching. Grandmaster Flash said he did. A few people said they did. Grand Mixer DST said he did. Grand Wizard Theodore said he did. So there's a few people who take credit for actually scratching. But it wasn't Kool Herc. Kool Herc didn't create scratching. So the forerunners, the front runners of it would be Grand Wizard Theodore and Grandmaster Flash. Okay? But that's another story. But the thing is, with this whole sacrificial Negro garbage that we're not going for, we're just not going to go for that. And Kamala Harris, let me play y'all what she said in a recent interview, because she was doing some babbling too, and then she took it a step further. Well, should I play that or the Boulay stuff first? Hold on, let me get out. Let me play the Boulay stuff first. Let me play the Boulay stuff, because that's another thing. They're sending the Boulay out here to shame us. People are trying to shame us for not caping for everybody. And there's a lot of these immigrant cats who are making videos Sambo babbling about ADOS. And I want you to notice, most people who try to have a disagreement about ADOS, they can't really formulate a logical retort. A lot of it is clickbait. A lot of these Negroes say, this is the problem I got with ADOS. And basically it's 20, 30 minutes of these Negroes rambling, coon-splaining, Sambo babbling, and they're not saying anything. Because you can't. And my thing is this, I want y'all to understand, when you hear the term, when you hear people say Hotep in a derogatory way, usually these are people who are immigrants. I've noticed that. I picked up on that. When you hear people use the term Hotep as an epithet, and they usually use it to people who talk about Black history and Pan-Africanism. Yeah, real talk, their arguments are completely illogical. But whenever you see people use the term Hotep, yeah, you Hotep and Ashy. I've noticed people who use that, I look at their profile, they got like some kind of Caribbean flag, a West African flag. It's always some people from somewhere else. And that's interesting. Because Black Americans, we're using African terms to try to unite us. We use Hotep as a positive thing. And they said, okay, that's a negative thing. Look at this Hotep ass nigga. And they got a Senegalese flag. Remember when old girl, Hotep, I call them Hotep no-taps. She's from Grenada, where the hell she's from. I don't want to say her name. But yeah, all of these people, that Hotep no-tap bullshit, these are people who are from the Caribbean and Africa. These are immigrants. So we're trying to, because Black folks, we've been on that Pan-African thing for a minute. So us talking about Pan-Africanism, Black history, us linking up, we Hoteps. Okay, so we're like, okay, well, we'll just look out for other Black folks over here. Hey, wait a minute now. Whoa, y'all crying foul. Whoa, y'all doing the most now. Oh, that's xenophobic now. Oh, don't do that now. Come on. Ooh, Lord, don't do that. You dig? So now they want to cry foul when we want to start doing things on our own, step up and do things to help each other. Now it's xenophobic and we just hating. See, everybody gets threatened when we start looking to each other to lift ourselves up because, see, they can't ride on our backs no more. These are people who won't be able to eat off us like that no more. You dig? And that's a good thing. It's time for everybody to hold their nuts, man. Hold their nuts time. That's been way overdue. That's been way overdue. Excuse me, guys. And now, the boule. And another thing, a lot of people, when you see people talking down on ADOS, it's going to be two types. Number one, some immigrants. Number two, boule-connected Negroes. Meaning a lot of those Negroes from the Root, Ebony, and just straight up the Urban League, all these boule cats, all these Negroes who work at some of these white media corporations. These are the ones who are really talking down on ADOS, Foundational Black Americans, getting on code with each other. It's fine for everybody else to get on code and be xenophobic towards us, because understand, when a lot of immigrants come over here, they're told to stay away from us, from each other. They tell each other to stay away from us. When we say, okay, well, we're just going to let you hold your own nuts then. Hey, come on now. Hey. What you mean, hey? Hey, what? Come on now, that's divisive. You ain't over here rocking with us like that. But sound like y'all hate us. Then they start making up lies. You dig? And they start trying to waste time. But let me play Mark Morial from the Boule. Now this is a big time Boule man. He's high up on that Boule food chain. Mark Morial of the Urban League. I think he's part of the National Urban League. So when y'all see these Negroes, these little light-skinned Negroes out of New Orleans, when y'all see them, you already know what the deal is. So he's all, you look at the Boule website, they got his name, or he's higher up on the Boule chain. And Mark Morial, Yvette Carnell, and Antonio Moore, they had all types of receipts on him showing the money he pays himself. Yeah, he's the former mayor of New Orleans. His dad was a mayor too. His dad could pass for white. But Mark Morial was on here, did a speech talking about ADOS, and watch the little tactics and tricks he tried to use. Where is it? Where is it? Come on now. Where we at? There we go. There we go. All right. Let me play Mark Morial. Boule man, Mark Morial. All right. Listen to this.
You may have seen this effort to divide the black community between ADOS, African Descendants of Slaves.
Whoop. See?
And black.
Y'all saw that little sleight of hand trick he tried to do? ADOS does not mean African Descendants of Slaves. ADOS does not mean African Descendants of Slaves. It means American Descendants of Slaves. All right? But they gave him the talking point. You see, he's trying to remember his talking point. So what they have to do, they have to act like they don't understand what it means and then argue about the fake understanding. All right?
African Descendants of Slaves and black people who may be here from the Caribbean or Africa. Beware that the same people are doing this. The same people are now undertaking a pernicious effort as though there was no slavery in the Caribbean.
Oh, Lord.
As though people who lived in West Africa were not under the yoke of colonialism.
That ain't got nothing to do with the U.S. government. See, that's why he lied. You saw that? That's why he lied and said it meant African Descendants of Slaves. He knew what he was doing when he lied. He knew what he was doing when he lied. That's why he didn't say American. He said African for a reason so that he can throw out those garbage talking points. There was there was slavery in the Caribbean, there was colonialism in Africa. That ain't got nothing to do with the United States government and what it owes descendants of American slavery. That's why they can't address that. That's why they have to keep acting stupid. They cannot address what we're talking about because you can't talk down on it. Hold on.
Lived in West Africa were not under the yoke of colonialism. But the same people, I suspect, and my instincts tell me, are up to a new chapter, Barbara Unwine, in trying to divide us. We're trying to create a distinction between, quote, those of us who can trace our family roots back to slavery here in the United States and everyone else, Dr. Janetta Cole. And we got to get it some sunshine on the fact that the internet is being used as a tool of manipulation. Well,
meaning we can't control those Negroes like we used to. Meaning we can't control the Negroes like we used to. And white mommy and white daddy's mad. That's what he's saying. We cannot control these Negroes like we used to. We could control them with radio and certain television because these are the people who run radio. These are the people who they put in charge of little television networks. The internet, we can't control these Negroes on the internet, though.
Fact that the internet is being used as a tool of manipulation. Well-funded, highly financed. It's a long day away from those campaigns I was involved.
Did y'all see the lie that this Negro just told? He just tried to imply that ADOS, we, who are exposing all the garbage that we're well funded by somebody, that's part of the whole Russian thing. That's part of that whole, y'all must be funded by Russians. Well funded? We're not well funded by nobody. You well funded, dude. Yvette and Tone pulled his paperwork. This dude paid himself damn near $1 million. I mean, this dude pays himself a gang of money. This dude gets paid big money to keep us asleep. Yeah, all that we're funded. Who funded us? They're well funded. This old nefarious, mysterious. We ain't funded by nobody. This is 100% grassroots. This is 100% grassroots. Ain't nobody funded. Y'all are funded. And the thing is, y'all money's gonna dry up because you got one job, and that is to control the niggers. Do you understand that boule rolling? And that's why they are always out here talking down and talking crazy about black folks getting something done for themselves. Anytime we talk about getting something for black folks, well, now come on now, y'all well funded by the Russians. Don't say that now. They get paid to shut us up. You see, their little networks and their little media corporations, it ain't working no more. And they see the butter biscuits are going to dry up. Them butter biscuits are going to dry up, so they don't know what to do. They're kind of scrambling. They don't know what angle to take right now. So now this whole Russian bot, we're funded by nefarious people. They're trying every angle they can right now. But I'm telling y'all, these Negroes are dangerous. That's why it's very important. A $900,000 salary, that dude gets paid big money. What's up, Arden Plumbing? Shout out to my brother down there in Texas. This is why, family, we got to be focused. This is what we're dealing with. We in here heavy. How many people? We in here 7,000 deep. Everybody hit the like button if you haven't. If you have not hit that like button, everybody hit that like button. And subscribe. All the people who have not subscribed, subscribe right now. And also, for the people who are new in here, we got a Macish package sale at TariqElite.com. The sale is going to be for 2 days only. It ends on Tuesday. But the thing is, dude, I've been telling people about the boule for years. Angela Rye got 2.5 million. So now you see why the Angela Rye's and Mark Morial's and all these people come out talking crazy and they be looking funny. That's why Roland be just, y'all stupid. Y'all messing up my money. That's why all these boule folks are looking crazy in the eyes when they see black folks not towing the line for all these other groups, which is what they're paid to make us do. It ain't working no more. And again, Kamala Harris is all clicked in with the boule. And y'all see the thing about her dad. The thing about Kamala Harris's dad came out and spoke against her when she was on the Breakfast Club talking about smoking weed and that's part of Jamaican culture. And her dad came out and he was distancing. He said, look, my family, no. We're going to distance ourselves away from that. Now, we don't like those stereotypes. Kamala Harris's dad was like, yeah, I don't like those stereotypes. And you know what that was about? You know what that was really about? Kamala Harris's dad coming out saying to her, basically, girl, what's all this nigga nonsense you getting involved in? Because she's out here doing the Cardi B dance and hot sauce and chicken wings, and the dad is probably like embarrassed because they know that ain't how she lived. Her dad is a bougie Negro from over there in Jamaica, where they are the white people of Jamaica. Some of that mulatto class, they are the white people of Jamaica. All that dancing at the barbecue, they don't do that. These Negroes over there, you got, and I told y'all about some of the mulatto class over there in the Caribbean. They think like white supremacists, a lot of them do. They look at the other part of black society, they're different from them. That mulatto class over there in the Caribbean, they real funny style. So that dad is looking at Kamala over here trying to pander to the black voters like, what is this? Girl, this you bringing shame upon my family. What all this niggatry you doing? Chicken wings, what is that? Chicken wings and weed? What Cardi B? We don't do that. Oh Lord, no, we distancing ourselves from you. The dad is like, yeah, the dad, you know, he's one of them bougie dudes. What is this niggatry? Tribe Called Quest? No. I taught you all your life to stay away from niggatry. What is that? You're embarrassing me. And my colleagues, when I go around here buck dancing for the colleagues, I got to explain why my daughter had hot sauce and buffalo wings. No. I raised you to grow up and marry a good white man. What are you doing? I raised you to grow up and get you a strong white man, and you out here engaging in niggatry? Oh, no, I distance myself from you. That's what the dad is saying. The dad raised her to marry a nice white king. Man. That's why he's distancing himself. Yeah, you know, Kamala, she's all up in the soul food restaurant with hot sauce and all that old corny dancing she was doing. Like, oh my God. But the thing is, Kamala, however you want to pronounce it, let me play the interview she did. Lord. Oh man, let me play this real quickly. Hold on, let me find it. I gotta play this. And this sums up everything you want to know. Where is it? I retweeted Tone. Where is that? There it is. Is this her? Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, now listen to this. She does some Sambo babble, and then she slipped in the truth. And this is what y'all need to know right here. Hold on. All right, y'all bear with me. All right, where is it? Boom. There it is. All right, let me make this thing big. Why am I hear my kids crying? All right, listen to this. Hold on. This is Kamala Harris. Did this interview, when did she do this? Either yesterday or today.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act.
Up.
Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a
Up.
family a tax credit,
Up.
which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
Up.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality.
Up. And I'm glad the sister interviewing her caught her. Shout out to the sister Natasha who interviewed her, caught her on that, and then made her dig deep. See, a lot of folks think they ain't getting her and making her dig deep. See, she's like, oh yeah, Black folks are treated a certain way. That's why I'm going to do the Lift Up Act, which is going to help everybody who makes under 100,000. See, she tried to put the Sambo Babble in there, and the sister caught her. But watch this. Hold on, let me take it back. Let me take it back.
Benefit and uplift people
Hold on.
who are making $100,000
Hold
or
on.
less. I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit.
See, that's where the trick bag comes in. Give people, that means everybody. Black folks are treated bad, so let's give everybody something. No.
Which will benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies,
Oh,
when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not
Sambo Babble.
they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners. Because the disparities are so significant.
Oh,
So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it.
oh no. This is Sambo Babble. This is Sambo Babble. You see? This is Sambo Babble. You just can't say, okay, we're going to do this for Black folks, because that's what she's trying to go around. See, she's trying to go around saying we ain't going to do nothing for Black folks, but the sister caught her. Listen.
That have resulted in the greatest disparities. And we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society.
Oh.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
What? What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Oh, there it is right there. Boom. There it is right there. There it is right there. She just got frustrated. She got tired of Sambo-splaining and Sambo babbling and just went on out and said it. Now, am I going to put out a policy for Black folks? No. There you go. Right there. That's why you got to keep drilling. There you go, right there.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
Please.
Right?
No, please. Now, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something, family. Kamala Harris, nor any other politician, would go to the Native American community and say, well, I'm not going to give a policy that's just going to help Native American. She would never go to them and say no garbage like that. She would never go to the LGBT community and say, well, y'all think I'm going to give a policy that's going to only benefit LGBT? No! She'll never do that. They would never go to the Jewish community. You think I'm going to give a policy that's just going to only help Jewish people? No. They wouldn't do that to nobody else, but they try that garbage with us. You understand? Because they have policies specifically for certain groups. Let's be very clear. So it ain't impossible. They do it all the time. They do not go to those groups and say that garbage she just said. You dig? Even the anti-lynching thing, I was like, well, we're going to put something in there for the gender LBGT too. We're good on that. We're cool. That's part of the benign neglect policy. Understand, the minute we allow them to get us in another trickle-down situation, we're done. We can't afford that no more. We ain't playing that game. We're not playing that game no more. We ain't doing trickle down, because the minute they start including us with all other groups, no, it's going to be a disaster. And they went out there talking about, well, we're going to talk about reparations. See, they're throwing out these key words, but they're not going to do nothing. And you know what's funny? Somebody in the room said it. Reggie Smith, dude, you know, even just to spite the Democrats, Trump would probably do something to act as a form of reparations. Trump would actually do something just to smite the Democrats. He did. And Claude Anderson said this. Claude Anderson said, well, hell, at least Trump specifically said that he's willing to do something for black folks. He might not do it, but at least he said it. You dig? And they're telling us that, you know, we got to get him out because he's the big white supremacist. Well, hell, y'all practicing white supremacy with the Democrats. Yeah, Trump, if we got on Trump would probably do it. And that would destroy the Democratic Party, by the way. They would be done. You dig? Trump is petty like that. Exactly. Trump is petty like that, just to spite them. And I'll be cool with that too. I would be cool with that, because the Democrats now, they're showing us contempt. It's beyond disrespect. They're showing us just straight up and down contempt at this point. You dig? They're showing us utter contempt at this point, man. My goodness. But the thing is, with Kamala, she was forced to tell the truth. She was forced to go ahead and tell the truth. And that's it right there. It's the benign neglect policy. And Elizabeth Warren, she was out there talking about, you know, reparations. That's a consideration. That the conversation is up for discussion. And then, right after she said that, she started talking about, well, Native Americans, they should be included in the conversation too. Goodbye. There you go. Grand opening, grand closing. You can go too. The door is that way. We're good. Elizabeth Warren immediately started talking about Native Americans should be in the conversation of reparations. Are you out of your damn mind? Number one, Native Americans, they've been getting payments for decades. They've been getting land for decades. They got treaties now where they're supposed to give some of that to us, and they cut us out of it. Those Native American tribes kick us out of those tribes on a regular basis and not share some of the resources that's on paper they're supposed to give us. Also, you cannot talk about reparations for Black Americans for slavery with the group that helped enslave us. Some of these Native American groups, you do realize, family, that they were some of the ones who were enslaving us. These Native American groups had us in slavery. They went to war to keep us enslaved. Especially them damn Cherokees. They did not want to release us from no damn slavery. You out your damn mind. That's like we're going to have the family of Trayvon and George Zimmerman sit in a room and discuss a payment plan. The hell are you talking about? Dude, many of those Native Americans enslaved us. That's something that we're going to have to really, really understand that happened. And also with these Native American tribes. Now, basically, you got so many of these $5 Indians who are really white people in there. So that's Elizabeth Warren giving a wink and a nod to like, okay, look, if we get some money to give to these Negroes, we're going to funnel it back into white society. No, we ain't playing that game. That's the way for them to funnel money back into white society. You got all these white people out here pretending to be Native Americans. Most of them ain't got one damn drop of Native American blood in them. You dig? So we got to watch the con games that's going on. You dig? Hold on one second. Man. Hold on one second. There's something I want to show y'all too. What's that black Confederate dude's name? Hold on. What's that black Confederate dude's name? HK something. What's his name? I'm going to play something from him. What the hell is his name? Okay. Oh my God, this Negro is so... Oh God. Hold on. Let me play. There was some kind of Confederate, they wear some kind of Confederate statue somewhere. And understand, you think some of these dudes aren't slave-minded today? Hold on, let me... H.K. Edgerton, that's his name. Let me show y'all a couple of clips of this dude. This dude is a piece of work. Understand, there's some cats out here who's plantation ready right now. They're ready to literally get back on the plantation. Hold on, let me play a couple of clips from this dude. Hold on one second. And this dude used to be head of the NAACP out there in, I want to say North Carolina somewhere. So this dude is a black dude, H.K. Edgerton, who basically, he supports the Confederate flag, and he's the token Negro that they bring out to support the Confederate flag all the time. And I mean, he literally looks like he's from somebody's plantation. All right, let me play a few clips of him. So he's out here. Now, this is some of these old, decrepit Negroes that's out here that we got running around. All right. So this is H.K. Edgerton. Oh, let me blow this up a little bit. All right, now look at this.
Meanwhile, across the yard, Confederate supporters also expressed unity, denying any involvement with official hate groups.
KKK is all about hate. Well, I'm all about love. In your hearts. Amen. I, the Southern Cross. I, the Christian Cross of St. Andrew. I am heritage, not hate.
Reporting in Oxford, Alex Love.
Okay. I mean, let me get a longer clip of this dude. That's a real Negro, family. That is a real Negro in this year. When I say that dude is in the sunken place, this dude goes around and they bring him out to these little Confederate things, and these white supremacists all hug up on him and love up on him, and this dude, I mean, he loves that. And he's real passionate about it. I mean, this dude still thinks he's a slave. I mean, this dude talks about slavery like it was a good thing. This is a real dude. This is a real dude, and they bring him to all those little Confederate things. I mean, this dude loves this stuff. This dude is the real deal. Let me play another clip of him. Hold on. These are the kind of old niggas we got out here, man. These elderly Negroes. Some of y'all got one of these in your family. They act the same way when they get around some white people at the job. Hold on. They act the same exact way. Hold on. All right, this is him explaining.
To say to African American students who feel threatened by the Confederate symbols on campus.
Say it again.
What do you have to say to the African American students who feel threatened by the Confederate symbols on campus?
Get a flag and join me. Let's go stroll through the campus.
But what if they feel
They have
threatened by the
they
flag?
have no reason to have any fear of this flag. You see all these fine people around here? Do you see any hate coming from any of these folks around here? I'll tell you what on the campus. In 1865, these folks came here from the north, brought their northern school teachers here to the Southland of America, did everything they could do to divide and separate black folks and white folks in the South. The same.
He said, do everything they could do to separate black folks and white folks from the South, meaning stop black folks from being enslaved. Stopping black folks from being enslaved meant you're trying to separate blacks and whites. You understand? This is a real Negro. This is not an actor. This dude is real. He thought freedom means why are you trying to separate me from white folks?
Southland of America did everything they could do to divide and separate black folks and white folks in the South. The same thing is happening again. History repeats itself. We're going through the same thing again. Those babies on that campus over here, Ole Miss, down the street here, they have no reason to fear this flag or the people who carry it. But I'm telling you, just like as I'm saying to you now, we get beat up on all the time. The word Confederacy is a bad word. That just means the coming together of forces.
No, it don't.
We get beat up because we carry the flag. Why? But if we stand to defend the flag.
Okay. By the way, family, this is Sambo Babble, okay? This is Sambo Babble. All day. This ain't nothing but Sambo Babble. And by the way, the Confederates, their whole ideology was maintaining white supremacy. They were very open about it. All the documents they had and spoke about and wrote about and all their speeches was about white supremacy. Their words. White supremacy was their words. Even when they made the flag was a symbol of white supremacy. Their words. This is Sambo babbling.
This is what we face. Madness from all over the place. I feel so sorry for the Christian white folks in the South End of my family because they can't defend themselves.
Did you? He feels so bad about the Christian white folks, his family, because they can't defend himself. Do you understand? This is why it's very difficult challenging white supremacy. Unfortunately, this ain't the only Negro like this. Let's be clear. This ain't the only Negro like this. Let's be clear. He's just all the way open with it. He's all the way open with it. His white family, he has to defend. And look at how the white people are standing behind him. He's defending the white people there. That's his job. He goes there and defend white people so they get called a racist. He can jump in and be like, no, Lord, don't you say that now.
I feel so sorry for the Christian white folks in the South End of my family because they can't defend themselves because we have been put in the trash heap of American life ever since General Robert E. Lee signed that treaty April 9, 1865 at Appomattox Courthouse. They promised that they would leave us alone. You can't find a better patriot than Southern folk. All you got to do is look at the military.
Sir, can you answer this? Can you tell me
Did I
why?
answer your...
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. The Sambo babble. The Sambo babble. Well, he's worse than Sheriff Clark. And that's the thing. White supremacists, you see all them standing around him, they love the idea of a loyal slave. See, I question, my thing is, I see that he's a Sambo, but I look at and I take account of all the white people standing behind him. Those are the ones I watch out for. The fact that you're around him. When I see somebody being a Sambo, I look at the white people who's standing around co-signing him because you, the white people, who I'm going to watch out for. You're going to be the problem. I want to see what laws you're trying to pass or what jury you might be on. You're the ones who are the real problem. Who co-signs this?
Your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Can you tell me why you think you're the only African American out here?
I didn't say I was African American. You said that.
Can you point me to another one?
All over the place.
I'm not going to bring him into it. I'm just wondering.
There are a lot of African
Why
Americans
don't you think there are more African Americans
standing here?
standing here?
There are.
Why?
But look how now they defending him. Look at that. They're defending their mascot. You notice how they jumped in all of a sudden now they're defending him. My goodness. And that's another thing. The white supremacists, when they get them a good mascot Sambo, they'll jump to his defense a little bit, but temporarily.
I do not think there are more than
Let me answer his question.
supporting the Confederacy.
Huh?
Why are there a limited amount of
I'm
African
answering
Americans
your
supporting the
question.
Confederacy?
Let me answer it.
I'm ready. Thank you.
I'm not going. I'm staying right here at this monument. I'm not taking my If I can't take my flag, I'm not putting it in the car. I'm not taking it off the pole. If I have to stand here by myself, I'll be standing.
I'm not leaving.
You don't mind, do you?
No.
I can't leave my.
Okay, that's enough of the Sambo babble. That's enough, guys. But oh my goodness, family, this is what we got. Look, family, he ain't the only one. This ain't the only Sambo out here like that. Yeah, he can't answer it. He's trying to deflect. He can't answer that because he likes being the special slave. He likes that. He likes being the special slave Negro. That's why all those white people out, those white supremacists, fake loving on him and hugging on him. Oh, he loves that. That's currency to him. Yeah, he's mentally ill, but there's a white supremacy makes you mentally ill like that. Yeah, he's to the extreme. You dig? Yeah, he's getting all that attention. Oh, that's currency to him. So when I have people tell me, when it comes to coons and buffoons and bedwenches and mammies, black folks got this thing, and this is why I showed this. We got this thing where we're supposed to help everybody, help other groups, waste our time lifting all these people up. We're the moral authority. We're going to have to bring democracy. We're the sacrificial slave. No. I think he's worse than Jesse Lee. Yeah, he's worse than Jesse Lee. Because at least Jesse Lee has a full-time job out of it. I think this dude just likes to go out there and get hugs with his teeth all jacked up. But the thing is, I had a point. I was making a point. My man cut me off with it. What was I saying? I was making a point. I'm all over the place. What was my point? I was making a point before I read that and got cut off. What was I making my point about? Y'all help me. We got a lot of people in here tonight. It's almost midnight. We over 7,000 people deep in here. Shout out to all 7,000. Everybody, hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now and hit the subscribe button right now, family. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and go to TariqElite.com to get that Macish package. Helping everyone, that's right, that's what I was talking about. We got this thing in black society where we're supposed to, if we see somebody just psychologically assed out like that, we're supposed to be sympathetic towards them. And black folks have that mentality because a lot of black people, unfortunately, we got family members who's been down. We got family members who's been on drugs. So we're used to seeing certain members of the family in a messed up state. So the family thing is, okay, he's our family, so we got to do what we can to lift up our family. But when do we get to the point where we ain't lifting some of these Negroes up? When do we get to the point where we say, hey, some of these niggas are gone. I don't want to lift him up. I don't want to do nothing with him. What we gonna do with that Negro coming around us with a Confederate flag? Can you really help him? See, we can't help everybody, man. This dude is way too far gone. This dude is psychologically living in 1850. We can't help this dude. Bringing him around is a problem. You dig? Certain people, when you see these little Sambos on the internet and all that, we be like, man, y'all need to come together. For what? For what? We got to let these folks go. That's the problem. We bring in all these folks. We trying to be kumbaya. No. We can't. We bring in all these people who do nothing but undermine us. See, this is what I like about black people getting on code with the Foundation of Black Americans and understanding who we are as ADOS. Because now we're excluding the garbage. We're trimming the fat now. And that's a good thing. We don't need everybody around who's not about empowerment. Everybody who comes around us, you're going to be on code and you're just going to have to be outside the circle. It's just that simple. You dig? So the thing is, when it comes to being on code, that means from top to bottom because the white supremacists are on code. And that brings me to the R. Kelly thing. You know, R. Kelly was arrested this week. They finally arrested him. It's very interesting about the case. And again, with R. Kelly, nobody black co-signed him messing with them young girls, whatever. He gets what he gets. And a lot of black folks was almost celebratory that R. Kelly got arrested. Nobody's tripping on that. Nobody's defending anything that he has done to young girls at all. Let's be very clear. And R. Kelly being arrested and the reaction black people had, because black people weren't really sympathetic, that just further shows that black society, we're the only society that does not have an open pedophile culture. We're the only people who do not have a support system for pedophiles. That keeps proving our point. We're the only people who do not have a support system for open pedophilia. You dig? Because you have pedophile rings in white society that's protected. Epstein, they had a whole island of kids allegedly. There was a story a few days ago about Epstein where judges and all these people were helping him out with real weak charges. And they're trying to see how they got these illegal plea deals going on with Epstein. Y'all know Epstein, man, there was like 30-something girls. And they had all types of illegal little deals, little backroom deals going on with that. And they got to look into it now because they broke all types of laws. Epstein got a slap on the wrist. I mean, he got sentenced, but they let this dude check in the jail and then go to work and then go home and then go to jail. They gave this dude, basically, that wasn't even jail. They gave him a prison spa. Like you go to the spa for an hour, do a little steam bath, and then go on about your business. What kind of deal is, and they're trying to do something with Sandusky too. With Sandusky, they trying to flip that. They looking into his case to try to flip it and finesse it. You dig? And white society protects that. They're being protected. We don't protect pedophiles in our society, in black society. But the thing is that's interesting about R. Kelly is they were talking about, well, there's a new tape, and they were making it seem like it was a new girl. But in the R. Kelly case, the videotape they got, it's the same girl from the other case. It's the same girl from the other case, and what they did, they added some new women. So they added 3 more charges onto the old case. So the media didn't let people know that. And the reason why they didn't let people know that is because people are going to ask the question. And this is about legalities right now. Because sometimes when you start talking about the law, you get these goofy Negroes coming in talking about, man, but he had peed on somebody. Okay, we got that. We're just talking about the law. Shout out to expat Israelite. My man gave $250. In what currency is that, brother? He gave $250 in some kind of currency. Expat, what currency is that? Because sometimes people coming in with donations here, and it's in a strange currency. Like somebody gave me like 10,000 Ghanaian dollars one time, and I was about to go get it popping. I was about to go take the wife to Olive Garden, and then it turned out to be like $3. What kind of money is that? But like I'm saying, I was talking about the R. Kelly thing. So with the R. Kelly thing, they were making it seem like it was a new girl, but it wasn't. And the reason why they were making it seem like it was a new girl is because people are going to ask questions about the double jeopardy. Because legally, that's a double jeopardy case. If you're going to try him again for the same plaintiff or the same person. So I'm like, how are they going to work that out? That's clearly in double jeopardy. That's illegal. And the reason why, and I'm saying this, that's not when you start talking about the law. Man, you're trying to defend R. Kelly. He had P. Don't look good. We're talking about law, and we're talking about how they set precedents for something, because that's very important. So we got to understand law and why and how they can set a precedent for something, because that becomes dangerous. Also, if they're setting a precedent for you to go in and kind of get loopholes and get double jeopardy things going, we need to be able to do that about all these other cases then. If we can find some double jeopardy loophole, because they got OJ with double jeopardy, by the way. With OJ, when he got sentenced to all those years for stealing his own stuff, that was really double jeopardy. They were sentencing him to jail for those killings that he didn't do. But they use the I'm white and I say so. We're white. We say you did it, so that means you did it, and you need to pay somehow. OJ is the only person in American history who went to jail that long for stealing his own stuff. Nobody has gone to jail that long for stealing their own stuff. But that was double jeopardy. They just used I'm white and I say so. Well, what they got OJ with was not, they were like, because they set him up from top to bottom. Everybody was wearing tapes and wires, so they were planning on setting him up anyway. This white dude who called up and said, hey man, I know somebody who got your stuff. So he was working with them folks. The white boy had a video, an audio tape. They were setting him up from the jump, and OJ's dumb ass didn't peep it. They did I'm white and I say so. They set OJ up from the jump. They knew what they were going to do. They were like, OJ, we're going to go get your stuff. I know who stole your stuff. You do? You know who stole my stuff? I know, man. We can go get it from him. I know a couple of guys, man, a couple of street guys who will come help us. Okay. I just got to go get my stuff. So the white boy wired himself. He was all wired. He went in there in that hotel, and they knew whatever was going to be said, they were going to use it against OJ. They got OJ for kidnapping. And you know what the kidnapping was? OJ told one of the dudes to sit down. Hey, you sit down now. And they were like, well, that's kidnapping, OJ. I just told him to sit down. Well, that's kidnapping, because we white and we say so. And you know, kidnapping, that carries a heavy charge, OJ. That case was, when it comes to black folks, boy, they know how to skirt the law. Or they get all types of new I'm white and I say so laws out of nowhere. But this R. Kelly thing, it's a double jeopardy. I want to see how they loophole this thing. I'm just looking at the legalities of it and how they can get away with the double jeopardy loophole. How are they going to do that? And what precedent are they going to use for that? And if they use that precedent, can we use that same precedent to go up to the Zimmermans and all these other people too? So it's a very interesting dynamic. Again, when it comes to black folks, and that just shows you, these people can prosecute whoever they want to prosecute. They can flip the law any way they want to flip it. They'll prosecute who they want to prosecute. Don't let people sit up here and act like their hands are tied. When one of these race soldiers blow your kid's brains out, and they act like, oh man, well, to stand your ground. Just like in Florida, when the white supremacist shot the brother in front of his family, that racist ass police chief came out. Well, he pushed him, and looked like a pretty violent push to me. And we got stand your ground laws, and the law is the law. I can't do anything about it. The law is what it. Stop it. These white supremacists will change the law at the drop of a hat, dude, and bring out all types of new law books. Just like in Cosby's case, dude. They let all types of illegal stuff go on in there. They let one of the jurors who said that let's just vote guilty and go home, they let him stay on the stand. He told people he was going to vote guilty. And they still didn't throw him off. You dig? And again, what was interesting is a lot of black folks who are a little bit too celebratory. And my thing is, okay, it's one thing about, getting somebody who's accused of sex crimes, getting them brought to justice. But some of y'all niggas who are auditioning, let's be clear. Some of y'all Negroes or some of these Shea Butter Negroes, many of them were basically auditioning for white mommy and white daddy, showing them, oh, good, you got that nigga. Yo, good. Thank goodness you got him. You sure got him. He dumb. You sure got him. They were basically auditioning. But, let me show this. Understand, they treat us like one big nigga. You dig? Let's be very clear. In the system of white supremacy, we are one big nigga. And when Gloria Allred did a press conference, she had 2 new victims, and I say victims because I don't know about the case or whatever, but these women, it was 2 women who said they met R. Kelly. I forgot what their complaint is. They said they were underage when they met him, or I don't know what it was, but they met him in the 90s at a concert, and then he tried to get them to go home. I don't think they did anything, but that was their claim. And they don't have any proof that they actually know him. So what Gloria Allred did, Gloria Allred used some of the racial tactics that she's known for. She's always using racial tactics because she understands racism and how it works and how it can be used. And in this picture, she's holding up a picture with these women. And in the picture, hold on, this is the first picture. She's holding up this picture with these women doing a press conference, and all the news media, they're taking pictures of this. And when you see this picture, this is a picture of the girls back in the 90s, the women, the accusers. So she's giving the impression that these women are standing there with R. Kelly. She's giving the impression that these women are standing, this is proof that these women have been assaulted by R. Kelly. Here's them standing here with a picture, and the person has a hat and shades on, and this picture's from the 90s. And they're standing there, and that's supposed to be R. Kelly. That's the impression you get when you see this picture. But the thing is, you look at the picture, that's not R. Kelly, that's LL Cool J. Standing there with a picture of LL, and it's giving the impression that it's R. Kelly. And the thing is, a lot of media outlets, and they kind of ran with it. R. Kelly is accused of sexual assault, and that's the picture they're using. See, when you look at all the headlines are basically showing her standing there with that picture, and you just get you assume by looking at the headlines in that picture that these women, this is proof that these women were with R. Kelly. And that's not R. Kelly in the picture. And the thing is, when you do stuff like that, okay, now you're doing the one big nigga theory. You dig? When you do stuff like that, now, no, you can't justify that. That's something you can't just, look, if you want to punish R. Kelly, that's fine. But when you start doing the all black folks look alike, they're just one big nigga, so we'll put up a picture of anybody. Because the name of the game, because what they're telling you is the Negro is interchangeable. And some of you slow Negroes who kind of co-sign this, know what she had, what the reason why she had that picture, because I hear some Sambo splaining and Sambo babble. Well, it was R. Kelly and LL at the concert that night. So that's why we got the picture again. No, that don't even make no sense. Why are you holding a picture of somebody who ain't R. Kelly? That makes no sense to do that. That makes no sense to do that. The only reason she's doing that is to give the impression that that is him, because that's the all black folks look like. They all one big nigga, so they're interchangeable anyway, so it don't matter if it's not LL. It doesn't matter if it's not R. Kelly. And that's the way they think. It doesn't matter. We'll get a new Negro next week. If it's R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, LL, Michael Jackson, it don't matter. We're going to use the same tactics on all you Negroes, so it don't matter. Yeah, LL, R. Kelly, don't matter. All y'all Negroes the same. We use the same I'm white and I say so tactics. We'll bring you down anytime we feel like it. We'll use the same thing, so it don't matter. That's what they're saying. The Negro is interchangeable. You dig? It's very dangerous when they do stuff like that. You dig? Because that just shows you under a system of white supremacy. That's why you got to be very careful about what you co-signing. Because black folks, when you all jumping up, high-fiving the white supremacists, ooh, you sure got R. Kelly, and they're in their mind like, nigga, I'm going to get you next. While you all at your job, oh, they sure got him, and they plotting on your ass at your job. See, don't get too celebratory around your white mommy and white daddy. You dig? That's the problem. There's one thing of being like, okay, yeah, we need justice because we don't need no predators in our community. But then there's another thing where y'all trying to show out for white people and get brownie points by showing, yeah, fuck him. You better be very careful about celebrating, because the thing is, they'll use that R. Kelly thing. They use that narrative on all black people. That's the narrative that they use on all black people when the pedophilia is rampant in their communities. See, they ain't doing that in their communities. You don't see them pushing out Epstein and all these other white pedophiles and predators. They're protecting them. And I ain't saying we protect none, but you see how they protect the ones in their community. So they're not at liberty to say nothing to me about no damn pedophilia or nothing, or any other black person, when they're protecting the ones in their communities. That's my thing. Y'all go out of your way to not do anything to white predators, white pedophiles, white suspected serial killers. You won't do nothing about Ed Buck. Ed Buck is still going to the Beverly Center, chilling. Y'all can't find no laws to prosecute people who are pulling dead bodies out their house after allegedly sexually assaulting people. But damn, y'all can pull these double jeopardy moves. My thing is, let's get that law equitable all across the board. You did? But yeah, so we got to understand the game out here, man. And don't let them use that divide and conquer thing against us. And I'm glad that sisters ain't falling for that whole divide, that gender divide. Like, oh, the black women, we're going to get you over here because you're different. You got some of that black girl magic. Boy, them white, let me tell y'all, some sisters, them white feminists hate your guts. White feminists, they hate a black woman's damn guts unless you are a plantation mammy. They only like you if you are an older, buck dancing plantation mammy who's non-threatening, who's asexual at that point, meaning that you don't have any competitive sexual appeal. You dig? These white supremacist women, those white feminists in particular, they hate black women with a passion. I want y'all to understand that. That's why they never done anything for you. Y'all remember when those white women, that lesbian couple adopted those black children? Devontae Hart's, yeah, and they kill those babies. Those disgusting ass racist women kill those babies. Remember the reports about how they were treating the girls. When those girls became teenagers, the white women were abusing them. Those white women were abusing those babies. You dig? Because now when those black girls get 15, 16, their bodies start developing, those white women can't stand that shit. They're extremely jealous of black girls like that. They hate black women with a passion. That goes all the way back to the plantation. Remember 12 Years a Slave? Remember, that was based on a real book. 12 Years a Slave, and Lupita's character, that white woman beating the shit out of Lupita. My damn man. Like, bitch, your man, I'm a slave. Shit, I don't want him. You got this crazed white supremacist raping you every 5 minutes and his raggedy ass wife mad about it. And that same dynamic is here today. You dig? They don't like that. They don't like no, especially a fine black woman at work. And I talked about this before. When a sister looks good and you work around them, well, they do anything they can to undermine you. Them white supremacist women will undermine the hell out of you. They do not like an attractive sister. Boy, they don't. Why you think they got Tarana Burke and parading her around? No shade. No shade. But they like people who are not model-esque. I'll say that. They like to parade people around who are not model-esque. They're very comfortable around Tarana Burke. And understand that gender divide, it always bites you in the ass. Hold on. It always turns around and bites you in the ass. Hold on. Hold on. And the thing is, y'all can play that game if you want to with these white supremacists. And then that karma gets you. Because sometimes y'all get up here with these white supremacists and understand, you got some of these movements were made for the purpose of taking the heat off the white supremacist male predators and putting it on black people. And there's some black folks who they can co-opt to assist them on this. And then you get a situation like this. Time's Up, they put a black female, Lisa Borders, as the president. The other day, Lisa Borders had to resign abruptly. She resigned, and people were like, why is she resigning? Turns out her black son, she has a son, he's like a massage healer or something like that. A white woman accused her black son of sexual misconduct. And you're the president of Time's Up. You thought you were in there like swimwear. Lisa, you thought you were in there. You sat up here and empowered these white supremacist females to put the same charges that you done acted as the mascot for. Now they did it against your son. Her son, it was a white woman too, who did it. You dig? You ain't exempt. Y'all think that being the loyal slave with these white supremacists is going to make you exempt. Sisters, that's why a lot of sisters ain't with that, because sisters, you know, they'll turn on you too, you and your family. If you got sons, uncles, dads, whatever, you can sit up here and help these people if you want to. You empower them to go back after your family. You dig? Boy, that's irony if I've ever seen it. That is irony if I have ever seen it. You dig? They done did it to your son. Mm-hmm. That's why, man, we can't co-sign the stuff that they do. Y'all keep making these little devil's bargains. It's just not going to work. This is a whole new energy right now. This is a whole new era of empowerment. This is why I notice a lot of the Sambos and butter biscuit eaters, all of them are falling by the wayside now. You know why? Because we're getting on code and we're creating a certain energy. That Ogun spirit, that Oya spirit, we're getting a certain energy of empowerment, and that energy, man, is real and is bringing truth to power. And understand, the karma for the white supremacists is coming too. Nature is getting on the white supremacists. This is why they're so desperate now. And Bobby Hemmett talked about this before. He talked about how black folks who assist white supremacists, boy, the spirits really get you, because you should know better. See, don't stand in the way of universal karma for these white supremacists. These white supremacists are, nature is getting them. All we got to do is stand in the way, stand out of the way. But nature is getting them. The white supremacists are getting wiped out by nature. They're dying off left and right. Do you know there's towns around the country that are being abandoned? That's like ghost towns. Because of the population dying off. Do y'all know that? There's towns. You go to middle America, you go to certain towns, and it's just like, It's literally a ghost town because people died. What's up? Look at my sexy damn wife. Come here, baby. It's hot. You did what? You watch the boys? Come here, say what's up, man. Y'all want to see?
No, keep going.
No. Come say hi.
Oh, good.
Come say hi to the family. You did? Yeah, but the thing is that, yeah, the white supremacists, man, are dying off. Not only AIDS in Europe, AIDS here. I keep telling people, man, AIDS here in the white communities is more rampant than people think it is. It's people don't grasp that because white people are telling you something different. All those white people who had AIDS in the 80s, that AIDS didn't go nowhere. But yeah, you go to certain cities, go to Middle America, dude. You got certain towns that are like ghost towns. I remember when I was filming some stuff with MTV back in some years back. Even then, I know it's worse now, but even then, we would go to these little cities, and it'd be like a ghost town. I'm like, what the hell happened to all the people? Like, damn. They don't talk about it in the media, though. They don't talk about it. Some of y'all live in, like, Iowa, some of these little places around, these little towns, that's empty. You know? Some of y'all live in these places in Middle America, and some of these little towns are empty. They got negative birth rates that can't really be reversed. Dr. Mumby, yeah, I believe that. I believe that. And then the drugs on top of that. But yeah, you go to, in certain states, it's at a point now where there's a natural decline where there are already more people dying than being born. When that happens to a certain level, you can't reverse it. This is why what they do, they get other groups and reclassify them as white. And that's what they're doing to Latinos, and they're going to do the same thing with Asians. They just get other groups and reclassify them as white. Yeah? But yeah, a lot of these towns, man, is empty. The people just died off. Yeah? And shit, man, over in Philly, outside of Philly, and I talk about this story all the time, they had some kind of random disease that was skipping over black folks and attacking white people. It was some kind of random airborne disease out there around the Philly area. It was either Philly or Baltimore. I want to say Philly. Yeah? But all these little white supremacist enclaves, those are the ones that's being attacked with that negative birth rate. You did? And I ain't standing in the way of that. It ain't our job to be on some sacrificial slave nonsense. Yeah? West Virginia, a good example. Yeah. Everybody's gonna have to hold their own nuts. Philly got a lot of meth heads, yeah. Yeah, that's just what it is. It was water disease. Yeah, it was and it was attacking white people in the suburbs. It was attacking white people in the suburbs. Let me find that article, the video real quick. Hold on, let me find it real quick and play it. I think it's real heavy. Lexi, will you come say hi to everybody?
Why? I don't understand.
Hold on. And by the way, everybody go to TariqElite.com to get that Macish package. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is it right here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, let me. I'm looking at. I'm trying to find the one with the best audio. Y'all just trying to find the one with the best audio on it. Hold on 1 second. But yeah. Drinking. Where is that? Hold on.
Well, a medical mystery is being investigated.
Okay, this is it right here. I wanted to find the one with the best audio on it, but this will have to do. The audio is a little janky on this one. All right, this is it right here. Hold on. Yeah, you know, we talked about this on Melanoid Nation years ago. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Did you eat, man?
I had it in the sideboard earlier.
You made it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right, check this out, guys. Hold on. All right.
Investigated in Montgomery County. It's a lung infection that has been linked to water.
Health reporter Stephanie Stahl says the illness is rare, but the number of patients is growing.
The unlikely victims are white, thin, postmenopausal women who live in affluent neighborhoods around the main line.
It's frightening, I think.
It's a lung infection similar to tuberculosis that's caused by a bacteria found all over, in soil, the air, and mainly in water.
This is in all of our water. We're all exposed to it every day when we take a shower. This is being researched very extensively right now.
Mainline health pulmonologist Leah Landy does not want to cause unnecessary hysteria, emphasizing that the lung infection called non-tuberculous mycobacteria, or NTM, is very rare. She treats about 100 patients a year. Symptoms include a cough and fatigue.
All of this white area.
And by the way, I think it's more extensive than what they're saying. When something attacks white people, they always minimize it and downplay it. But if two niggas get the flu, it's an epidemic, and then everybody got to get shots.
That's all infection and inflammation.
A study from the American Thoracic Society and NIH in 2012 identified 7 significant clusters of NTM around the country, one being the greater Philadelphia metropolitan area, with significant clusters found in Montgomery County.
At the end of the day, you're thinking, have you hurt yourself by drinking water?
Karen McCarthy,
Water is killing their ass.
who lives in nearby Westchester, was diagnosed with NTM in May. Now you have to live on antibiotics.
Until next September or October.
She's installed a special water filter, careful to avoid re-exposure. The 54-year-old struggles with fatigue and respiratory issues, but makes sure to stay in shape, which ironically made her more susceptible. Were you shocked when you found out that being healthy and fit put you at risk for this?
Oh, absolutely.
The NIH report also noted that most NTM patients had higher education and income levels, with the infection being difficult to identify.
Now, what the hell does that got to do with anything? Wasn't that weird? They have educational and income. Basically, that was a real clumsy way of trying to associate whiteness with higher education and income. That had nothing to do with anything in this damn story. Nothing to do with a damn disease. What does your income level have to do with a damn disease? Nothing. They just kind of had to crowbar that in there. Well, it's a disease for smart people.
The diagnosis is tricky. It often is delayed. There's often, I'll see patients as well others that have been undiagnosed for several years.
Dr. Landy says the bacteria can be especially dangerous when it's aerosolized in the shower or from a humidifier, even with dirt that blows in the air.
I didn't know what NTM was. I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Philip Lippman says he learned fast after his wife, Fern, was diagnosed. They lived in another NTM hotspot, Florida. The lung infection eventually killed her.
She was such an amazing person, but she's in my heart. She's with our children.
But not everyone is at risk. Doctors say African Americans and people who are overweight tend not to get NTM. But this bacteria...
Now, you see they had to throw in the overweight thing. Now, they had to throw a little dirt on it. I don't even think it has anything to do with people being overweight. They had to associate African American and overweight in there. You dig? But it's not affecting black people. It does not affect black folks. They had to throw some low-key shade in there, though. You dig? You see how they associate overweight with black women? They had a stock photo of a fat black girl on there. They had to throw shade in there because, they're taking an L in this story. So, well, we got it because our income is good. Oh, stop.
But she's in my heart. She's with our children.
But not everyone is at risk. Doctors say African Americans and people who are overweight tend not to get NTM, but this bacteria that causes it is everywhere. So the question is, why do only certain people get the infection?
Ogun. Shit. In these little segregated areas. Hold on, let me take this down. Hold on, y'all. I'm struggling over here. There we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. Man. They had to throw a little shade in there. Well, if you're smart and affluent, you know, you're more susceptible. But if you're fat and black, you're going to be safe. Your big fat black asses are going to be immune because your fat is going to stop the disease from penetrating. You see, if you were, thank goodness you're not smart and affluent like us. You see, they're going to try to white-splain the disease. They're trying to white so they can feel better about themselves. Get out of here. That ain't nothing but Ogun. The dirt, the air, and the water. Yeah? And I'm telling you, it's more deadly than they're leading on. That's more deadly than they're leading on. Yeah? That's probably why a lot of people in these little segregated white supremacist enclaves, that's probably why they're dying. They get little diseases like that. Yeah? Man. So yeah, they don't like to publicize stuff like that too much. Will you come here and say hi, Lexi?
I do.
Come say hi. My wife over here looking good and sexy.
I look so basic.
No, you don't. Hey, say hi. What's up? What's going on? Show them that hair. Look at that hair, the curly locks. Look at that forehead. I told y'all, big forehead women are good luck. Big forehead women are good luck. Man. Yeah, I got a bump on my head. Like that hair. Man. Dude. Man, this is why these people, man, got it out for us, man, because, you know, nature's protecting us. And these white supremacists are in these little enclaves. It's really all those ones in these little places where they've excluded black folks. You notice this, and I keep talking about this. All these little towns where they have excluded black people, nature is getting that ass. Out there in Florida, and these little places in Florida where they're killing black folks left and right, these little airborne diseases are hitting them. Philadelphia, they've excluded black folks from certain areas. The water is getting them. Out here in Paradise, California, the whole town burned down. You dig? Well, y'all think the nature ain't trying to say something? Paradise, California, they still talking about how that place has just been decimated. That racist ass town. That Paradise, California was horrible, man. There was some black kids who got adopted and were beaten by the white adopted family over there. My good Lord. They adopted some black kids from Africa. They were beating the kids. Fuck Paradise, dude. That ain't nothing but the universe saying good riddance. Man. But anyway, but y'all look, the Mackish package, 2 days. I'm getting nasty with Mama Peanut. oh Lord.
I like that.
Yeah, she like nasty shit. My wife likes them. Yeah, she likes all types of shit. I had to back her up off me. Man. But look, family, look, stay on code. We got to stay on code. We are looking out for our groups. We don't care about any other group being offended. We are not going to sacrifice ourselves. We don't owe nobody an explanation. We don't want to hear your Sambo babble. We don't want to hear coonsplaining. We don't want to hear all your rhetoric. We don't want to hear all your whining. We've helped you enough. Hold your own nuts. Do you? We ain't mad at you. When we start talking about ADOS getting what we need to get from our government, we don't want to hear about, well, slavery had happened in the Caribbean, slavery or what. No. Well, go deal with the government there. If slavery happened in your country where you immigrated from, man, I salute you with going over to your government or whoever colonized, whoever were the ones enslaving them, and going to get the bag. I'm with you. I am not going to get in your business. Don't get into ours. This is our business over here. You dig? Yo, hate. What the hell we going to hate on you for? We didn't help you get over here. Now, if you want the bag, go to your country and get the bag. And stop whining and getting in our business, because we ain't going to fight for you like that. The problem is y'all ain't used to whooping ass. Y'all ain't used to standing up. You're used to us doing all the hard labor and the hard work for you, and you done got accustomed to it, and that's just not happening no more. Everybody's going to have to hold their own nuts. Hold your own nuts time is here. You dig? Ain't nobody eating off us no more. You dig? Yeah. I know Jamaica has a reparations movement. They were trying to get money from Britain. I salute them on that. We ain't over there talking about, well, it was slavery over in America. They had Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, the Kunta Kinte. No, we ain't talking that. And don't get over here talking that dumb shit with us. Marcus Garvey, it was over here. He was an immigrant. That's saying idiotic nonsense. Dude, we're talking about what our government that we built. We built the government here, and we're owed something. We specifically are owed something. You're not, and you know you're not, and you're not in this conversation. It's just that simple. Nobody's hating on you. And if you think we hating on you, we don't give a damn, to be honest. Because again, friendly time is over. We ain't got to be friendly with everybody.
You said money and everything.
Yeah.
In Jamaica.
Yeah. We ain't got to be friendly with everybody. We got to get what we need to get, man. We're trying to survive out here. We've done enough. You know? Man, so it's ADOS out here. Foundational Black Americans. We making it happen. And again, nobody has gotten the kind of pushback that we have gotten. Foundational Black Americans, descendants of American slavery. Notice no other group gets this kind of pushback for looking out for the best interest of their groups. Other people can look out for the best interest of their groups. They can have Puerto Rican Day Parade, Dominican Day Parade, Jamaican Day Parade, Brazilian Day Parade, LGBT Parade. If we say, hey, well, all right, y'all had a good time. Y'all had your parades. Well, we want to do something for ADOS. Oh, damn it. That's like the Black Panther Party. These are some militants. They funded by the government. They funded by Russia. Is y'all funded by Russia to undermine us? Come on. Now all of a sudden, it's a threat. Y'all be turning up on Trinidad Day and Turks and Caicos Day. You turn up with your feathers and your ass and titties out, and you're doing your little popping your butt cheeks. Well, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. We're doing what we do, all of a sudden it's a problem. Hold your own nuts, because look, ain't nobody been helping us anyway. Nobody's been helping us, so what y'all gonna do, not help us again? Ain't nobody helping us. That's why it's all about, y'all hold your nuts, we gonna hold ours. Nobody's been helping us. When our children get harmed, when we get harmed, no other group comes to our rescue and even assist us. They do a couple of janky-ass marches so they can get some money out of it and capitalize off of it. But nobody helps us anyway. So we can say with all confidence, hold your own nuts and we're going to do what we do. You think? And everybody, look, get that Mac's package right there below. Go to TariqElite.com. Go to Tangibles2020.com. We support that Tangibles 2020 movement. We're beating that drum heavy. We're making it happen, man. We're going to keep campaigning hard and let politicians know, man, we want tangibles. And we ain't going around that. We ain't talking about trickle down. We ain't talking about diversity. We ain't talking about minority. We ain't talking about people of color. We ain't using those terms no more. Those are dead terms to us. Whenever you hear those terms, run. Whenever you hear those terms, you run. If you're not talking about ADOS or foundational Black Americans or descendants of American slavery, we ain't rocking with you. It's that or nothing. It ain't us and Native Americans and Hispanics. We ain't playing that game. You dig? Anyway, y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. Mattress Package, TariqElite.com. That sale is going on 2 days only. You get a gang of stuff for just $99. Go to the website now. Get yours now. I'm a